Yo, yo. What up, everybody? It's your boy Royce the Voice, Orange Click, Orange Leader. Shout out to K-Team. Speak your thoughts or lose yo mind. And how's everybody doing today? It is 8:04 p.m. It is Monday. It is October the 18th, 4 days away from my birthday. What up, Lil Flexin'? My boy Gabe in the building, you know what I'm saying? With Guapo Apparel. You already know what it is, man. He's watching on YouTube Live, you know what I'm saying? You can watch me on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm going on Twitter Live right now, which is used to be called Periscope. Now it's just Twitter. We're going live on YouTube right now as Royce's Rant. You know, you already see that right there. On Facebook, of course, as you're watching there. You know what I'm saying? We got people coming in right now. Y'all come on in, because it's going to be like a quick show. So, you know, I just want to give everybody time to come in and share for me, because this is really a big thing for Tennessee. I think it's happening in Idaho, I believe, or Oklahoma or something, but this is a big thing for Tennessee, and I can't really act like I'm surprised. And I'll get to that in just a minute. Right now, I just want to give a shout out to you guys, because you guys been hanging with us tough. You know what I'm saying, since day one, since Juneteenth of 2019. You know what I'm saying, when Royce's Rant first started with the first season, and we had all types of guests, and you guys got to see me grow. And as I moved back down here to Tullahoma to get more involved in the community, get more involved into, you know, getting the politics, to speak up and get the people involved into the politics, man, I think that we've done a very good job of doing that. I just want to congratulate you guys. You know what I'm saying? I also just want to congratulate, you know, the movement that's going on right now. You know, last year, you know, I kind of made some noise about fixing those basketball courts up at Jefferson Street Park, and we finally got it up, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Alderman Rupert Blackwell, you know, took it upon herself to listen to the live that I was doing. She took it upon herself to gather monies and donations and stuff like that, man. She was able to gather up enough money to get the whole thing fixed. So I want to give a shout out to Rupert Blackwell, Alderman Rupert Blackwell, for listening and doing what she said she was going to do, and everybody else that was involved as far as Tullahoma Parks and Rec on all the cement layers and all that. Thank you guys for your work, and this is just a small step. Oh yeah, what's up, Gabe? It was a pleasure. Stream always looking fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, we trying, man. You know, shout out to Lil Flex and Guap's Apparel, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I think I gave everybody time to share. You know, share this in your inboxes, share this on your pages, share this in your groups, because like I said, this will be a quick show. So I hope you guys are on here, because I'm going to be on and I'm going to be off. You feel what I'm saying? One of them quick shows when we don't have a guest. All right. So let's make the point real quick, man. What's up? Shout out to BJ. Shout out to BJ for the stars, you know what I'm saying? We really appreciate that. Yeah, make sure before we get started, my bad, you know I got to get them plugs in. Make sure you guys send in those stars, man, because we cannot run this show without you guys. You feel what I'm saying? So every dollar that you make and that you send to us, man, it really goes back to the show for us to do what we do, to have new looks, you know what I'm saying, to bring on new guests and all that good stuff, all right? So, are you guys ready? Have you guys shared? If you haven't, keep sharing, because the topic of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the topic of today, what is the title? The title is called Black History Banned. Let that sit there for a minute. This show is not sponsored by Sprite, by the way. Needs to be. You feel what I'm saying? Sprite, holler at us. Black History Banned, all right? That title says what it says, and it is what it is. And what do I mean when I say Black history has been banned? Black history has technically, besides what you can teach in the 5th and 8th grades from what I was reading, and I have some links for this though. Here in Tennessee, it's technically, there was a bill passed to where you cannot teach Black history in schools, K through 12. Now, does it sound like I'm exaggerating? It may be, but this is due to some of this research and reading in between the lines, okay? And the reason why I say Black history has been banned, well, it goes by the name of this guy named Governor Bill Lee. Governor Bill Lee. Lord have mercy. I don't know what to say about this gentleman. I can't say that I'm surprised. You know, I can't say that I'm surprised that at Tennessee legislation, you know, we've already had examples of how some of them are, especially, I'm going to call her out, especially, you know, the Janice Bolins of the world, when she came down here to Tullahoma, Tennessee, and, you know, tried to make a scene and act like she didn't know what was going on. And there's just no racism here in Tennessee. There's no systemic racism here in Tennessee. We're all getting along here. And I used to live in this house when okay, whatever. Well, she was one of those people that helped pass this bill along with Governor Bill Lee, who had put the final say so on it. But see, the reason why I say Black history is because I feel, and this is my opinion, I feel that the legislation had used the terminology critical race theory. Oh, he says I keep dropping in and out. You talking about the live or you talking about my audio? It's probably the audio. Or the let me see. Okay. I think we still here. Let me check with my producers. Okay. All right, good. Sorry about that, BJ. So oh, we on BJ. All right, so they passed this bill, and actually, Josh, I put a link in the private chat. There's a link in the private chat because I'm gonna make sure that I read this verbatim. It was definitely from the Tennessean. Oh, he doesn't see it. Okay, hold on for a minute, you guys. It must have disappeared inside of the thingamajigger. Here, I'll put it up again because it's actually right here. Y'all bear with me for a minute, man. I'm going to get y'all this link. I'm about to put it in there one more time, Pat. All right. Boom. Just put it up in there. All right, so I want you guys to check this out. You know what I'm saying? Why he's looking at this. All right. Tennessee has now banned what they call critical race theory. You cannot teach that in schools, K through 12 here in Tennessee. And I basically turned that into Black history. And here's why I say Black history. Because within critical race theory, right? Within critical race theory, it states that it teaches systemic racism. It teaches superiority from one race to another. I've heard a lot of comments from people who were against CRT, and I really feel like that terminology has been misinterpreted. All right. So the fact that they use CRT to take away the teachings of Black history is because of this. And this is just my opinion. I honestly feel like, oh yeah, there it goes right there. Let me read that real quick before I do my opinion. All right. In there, I'm gonna try to blow this up real quick. I'm gonna put this right there. Hold on, Josh. I got you, man. I'm blind and I can't see. All right. So y'all bear with me while I read this real quick. Not too long, just a little something. All right, it says Governor Bill Lee on Monday signed a bill into law that will restrict what public law teachers can discuss in Tennessee classrooms about racism, white privilege, and unconscious bias. The Republican governor signed the bill without comment following its passage along partisan lines earlier this month. The new law, which essentially takes effect with the 2021-2022 school year, will allow Tennessee Education Commissioner Penny Schwinn to withhold funds from schools and districts where teachers promote certain concepts about racism, sexism, bias, and other social issues that GOP lawmakers believe are cynical and divisive. Among the 14 concepts, the teachers will not be able to discuss that one race bears responsibility for past actions against another. The United States is fundamentally racist, and a person is inherently privileged or oppressive due to their race. Now, we're going to stop right there for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, does that make any sense? Does that make any sense at all? All right? That last sentence says right here, among the 14 concepts, the teachers will not be able to discuss that one race bears responsibility for past actions of another. The United States is fundamentally racist, and the person is inherently privileged or oppressive due to their race. That sounds like a trap to me, ladies and gentlemen. That sounds like a trap to me. I'm going to tell you why it sounds like a trap to me, okay? Because if you're making it illegal to teach America's history of black people. You cannot teach America's history of black people without talking about racism. Honestly, you don't even have to say the word racism. You can just learn black history in America and see that it was racism. It was systematic racism. So if we can't talk about that, then we can't talk about black history. And so therefore, black history is technically banned. Now I'm gonna give y'all my basically banned. And I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts on this real quick, okay? So, I want to talk about how we got here. How did we get here? What's up, Black Brilliance? Shout out to Black Brilliance. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee MC. This dude, he cold. And on this Black History Band, I want to talk about how did we get here. Does anybody else know? I want y'all to talk in the comments. I want to see what you guys are saying. How did we get this far to where our state legislator had to use the terminology of critical race theory to slickly remove black history from the K through 12 curriculum? In other words, it has to be seriously monitored. I'm going to keep it real with you. When I learned the black history that I learned in K through 12, which was almost to little as nothing, it was about slavery and it was about Martin Luther King. Right? Now, within that, I'm going to keep it real. They didn't really go in depth. They really didn't even teach me or tell me that one race was superior to another. Not in this day and time. They didn't teach in the present time when I was younger and learning about black history. They did not say that one race was superior than another. But when you speak on the past, our history of the past, our racism in the past, that's history that we have to know. We have to know that. That's not going to make anybody more racist than they are now or not, of learning your past. This is the problem that I have with our American government. You know, for black people, it has always been, we've been so patient, but it's always been a problem anytime we bring up our past accolades or our history, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's always a problem when we want to speak about our history. But it's never a problem, it seems. And excuse, this is not my language, but I don't want to step on any toes, but I'm going to keep it real. It seems to be that we can talk about the Holocaust. How did we get here? It seems that we can talk about the Holocaust. How did we get here? It seems that we can talk about the Holocaust here in America. They can tell them never forget. Never forget the Holocaust. Never forget the millions of Jews that were killed, but tend to forget that there were black people in the midst of that too. Why is it that black people are always swept up under the rug when it comes to our history? And it seems like our system tries to do anything, technically, to erase our history, our good, our bad, and our ugly. How important is history altogether? Flex said, so what, we can't speak of slavery in Tennessee school laws now? Bruh, if it has anything to do with racism or systemic racism, you can't speak on it because they're saying that it makes one race feel superior than the other. They're saying it teaches, critical race theory teaches, one race is more superior than the other. In other words, if you're going to be talking about black history, you have to leave racism out of it. Right? Mario says, I'm sorry, what I want to know is why there's a movement already in play to get that bill smashed. What I want to know is, is there? Why isn't there? I don't know. Hey, Reno, good question. Why don't we start it? Because this is no longer like a Tullahoma, Winchester, Shelbyville thing. This is a whole state of Tennessee thing. You feel what I'm saying? Black Brilliant said, I'm sorry, I'm going up the lines. You guys are commenting. I'm like that. I'm not used to that. What'd he say? Basically, don't speak on your trauma. Just ignore it. Boom. You know, Lil Flex said, I swear Tennessee is the racist or one of the most racist states in America. Brothers, I'm just going to tell y'all this, and please share it, you know what I'm saying, while you guys are at it, because I said this show won't be too long or whatnot, because, you know, I definitely like to have my point towards the end, but I want y'all to know what's going on. For everybody to just tune in, and this bill was actually signed back in the spring or whatnot, but it will be in effect next year. They're using the terminology critical race theory to replace Black history. And we know good and damn well, we got smart people here on this show. We got smart people here in Tullahoma. We got smart people here in Tennessee. And we can read between those lines. What are you so afraid of that you cannot learn the Black history here in America? Listen, I'm going to keep it real. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I don't care about no Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not an African American. I wasn't born in Africa. I'm studying more and more about my family history. I'm more indigenous to this land than we all come from Africa. But I'm learning more and more that my family are indigenous here to this land. Why would you not want to learn about where you are from? Everybody wasn't a slave, and it wasn't as many slaves as you thought it was. But see, that's another show. Let me get back on track. How do we get here? How do we get here to where they're trying to technically erase Black history here in Tennessee and other states are following? What are you afraid of? You know what it's telling me? This is where conspiracy is coming into discernment, right? You're afraid that Black people will get a sense of superiority and feel like that we're greater than other races. When you really don't. Let me give y'all an example. I don't know if you guys remember when I did the march back in June last year, and I said that Black history needed to be in school so white children could know that we were superheroes too. How did we get here? Why are all the superheroes in history? Why are they white? I'm not trying to step on any toes. Look, y'all know I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? I love you till you hate me back. They got to control the narrative. The person who controls the pen and paper controls the information being put out. And that's exactly what the state of Tennessee did. And if you guys are really thinking about, keeping Bill Lee in office and whatever he decides to do next year, I think it's midterms next year. I don't know what he's trying to do. Y'all need to hold this up against him. If this isn't a time for everybody to come together when it comes to this, I don't know what better time it would be. You understand what I'm saying? They are slowly taking Black history out. Do you know what that does? Now, guess what? We're going to go through. If that's the case, why not just erase history altogether? How did we get here? Y'all, how did we get here? Right back at you, man. The network loves y'all back too, man. Real talk. But how do we get here, y'all? And then what are we going to do about it? How did we get here? And what are we going to do about it? I'll tell you what I think we should do about it. And this is just my opinion, okay? This is just my opinion. If they're not going to talk about it in schools, y'all, well, you know what? Let's pause that there. I want to leave that for for the ending. I want to tell you what I think we should do. But my next question is on this. How do you guys think that it's going to affect our children? Anybody got kids here on these comments? Anybody? Raise your hands if you're sure. Anybody got kids here on these comments? If you do, put a fist up, put a 1 up, put a 2 up. Ask yourself, how does this affect our children? Some people will say, what you don't know won't hurt them, right? Yeah, that's kind of true too, right? But also what you do know can hurt you too. But see, regardless of that, the knowledge that we receive, it all depends on what we do with it and how we apply to it. I really don't see anything wrong with discussing America's traumas, America's dark history. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, so everybody got kids on here. They raised their hands. Cool. How do you guys think that it's going to affect the children? You know, it's kind of like a tricky question in a way because they don't know this is happening. So when they go into the curriculum, they're not aware that there was any history in the first place. I think I just answered my own question. Flex said they've been trying to take actual history out to cover up what they did, of course, all day. But isn't it funny though? It only seems to be with indigenous and Black people. Do you feel what I'm saying? I believe people are waking up. When you think about America's history, if you look at it from the simplest form, right? Very simple. When Europe came over to this land was already occupied and they stole it. End of story. 246 years later, we're here in America. Yes, it was our land. It was the indigenous people's land. And a lot of people don't know Indians are from India. Let's get that straight. There's no such thing as Indians in America. These are indigenous aborigines. Let's get that correct. How does this affect our children? I'm going to tell you how this affects our children. When you take Black history out of the school curriculum from K through 12, and then you're learning the regular history that we all have been taught, the watered down version of George Washington cutting down the apple tree or something, whatever he did. Honest Abe and all that stuff like that. All right. Giving you the glitter and the gold and all that cookie cutter stuff. Right. You got Black and white kids going through life when they learn history that everything was just fine. Everybody was telling the truth. You feel me? Slavery was a good thing. They took care of the Negroes down there. They finally got their freedom. So there's nothing wrong right now. No. Real history you have to unveil. We have to see what's up under that dress. That's a metaphor now. Black parents, good. I think that alone will make them more curious and draw their own conclusions. The information is a YouTube click away. Okay. They know something doesn't add up. My 9-year-old schools himself and questions everything. I smile. That's what's up, man. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. You feel me? BJ says we don't even tell local history in local schools because they are afraid of the truth getting out. It is not about shaming anyone. It is about them acknowledging the past and how it affects people still to this day. As simple as that. And BJ, you guys, he's actually doing some work in the local area here in Franklin County and Winchester. You know what I'm saying? With some hidden history, lost history and stuff like that locally. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff that I didn't even know about. You feel what I mean? And yeah, you know, they take stuff like that out of history so they won't be held accountable, so they won't be embarrassed. They won't feel so bad about what happened. And they're in fear of retaliation. And let me tell you about this. I know in my heart, I feel in my heart that if the real history was taught, there would be no retaliation. There would be no one race superior than the other. Because white kids would know that Black people were just as good, were just as equal as they were, just as intelligent. You feel what I'm saying? All on an equal playing field. But when they see what had happened to our ancestors, you begin to have empathy, not sympathy, but empathy, meaning you understand where they are coming from, even though you wasn't there. It's not like you're taking responsibility as somebody in this generation. We know that the people in this generation did not do what was done here in America, but you will have to understand, and if you do your history, that some white people are the descendants of ones who caused this trauma in America in our past. How do you think we move so fast as a country in 246 years, ladies and gentlemen? How? I'll wait. Flex said, if people knew how many of Black culture is all in races, there wouldn't be hate like there is. And that's exactly right. And you guys, this is just spitting the truth. Minorities, Black people have contributed so much to America. Let's leave slavery and indentured servants out of the picture. We're talking about education. We're talking about inventions. We're talking about sports. We're talking about schools. We're talking about politics. We're talking about technically the first president of the United States unofficially was a Black man. That's a whole nother story. But these are the things that will be left out. These are the things that will not be talked about. This bill right here that Governor Bill Lee passed is going to completely 90% erase real Black history from the curriculum. Now, I think what we're going to do is, I think, Josh, if you want, because I kind of want to conclude this because I have a whole lot that I want to say in the end as far as my opinion. And I would like to go to a commercial break. We do like one commercial break and come back. And I kind of wrap this all up and explain how I really feel. I just wanted to give you guys like a little tidbit on what was going on. I know a lot of you are probably aware. Okay, that's what's up. Are you saying go ahead or you want me to do a commercial? Okay. All right. So if y'all sit tight real quick, we're going to go to a commercial break. And I want you guys to share this in between. So I come back, I'm going to unload. Y'all know how I do, and close the show. All right. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Please continue to share. We will be back here in just a few minutes. I'm your boy, Royce the Voice, Orange Click, Orange Leader. Shout out to K-Team. Speak your thoughts, to lose your mind. And we're going to be right back. Sit tight.
In the beginning, my product was not for sale at all. It was really for my son's eczema. I tried everything that the commercial world had to offer, and nothing tended to his needs. I took it upon myself to create something of my own. I finally had the right antidote. I found out it not only worked for my son's skin, it worked for his hair as well. I started to experiment more and made several products for skin and hair care with all homegrown natural ingredients to give you the healthy look you deserve. Remember, healthy hair and skin isn't a trend, it's a rule.
No matter how my life is broken up, God still brings it back together.
I can't stop her. I've been there. When he first came, he was like a ball of fire. He was rolling over here and rolling over there.
He gave a sermon, blew me away.
But God, if you ever ask her who sent you, you tell them.
I'm a strong believer in you have to be able to have done something in order to tell me how not to do it. Coming out of the military, I wasn't a good person at all.
I gotta get away from this.
I got out there to where I couldn't get back.
He's doing some stupid stuff.
If I had to do it all over again, I guess I could say I would because I didn't know any better then.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Royce the Voice, Orange Click, Orange Leader. Shout out to K-Team. Speak your thoughts or lose your mind, and welcome back. It is now Gunshots Fired. It is now 8:30 p.m., 8:31 p.m., October the 18th, 4 days away from my birthday. Don't forget to wish me a happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? 2021. Shout out to Flex. Shout out to BJ. Shout out to my boy Black Excellence. Shout out to everybody else that's tuning in that I can't really see right now because I'm trying to navigate different things. Shout out to Twitter. You know, shout out to YouTube and the people out there. Shout out to Facebook and everybody that's been tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back to what BJ said here. Okay, I think I missed that comment. He said, some of us. Oh, my bad. I got it. All right. He said some of us are lucky to still have grandparents and great-grandparents who could not marry people because of the color of their skin. Couldn't drink or eat in the same places. This is not ancient history. It is not like a bunch of people standing around digging in the dirt to find evidence of some past culture. This was modern America. We were sending people to the moon and at the same time having a fight to let kids all go to the same school without fear. We are capable of. Okay, I think BJ, man, you missed them characters. BJ be typing, boy. It's almost like she'd hop on. Beasley said, Royce Massengill, what's up? Oh, my brother, I'm really going to have to start checking you out and dropping my input pertaining to different subjects. Keep the movement alive, Royce. Hey, I appreciate that, Beasley. You know what I'm saying? Will B. I'm going to call you Will B. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like an album or a name or something. Will be coming out soon. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you sharing. Appreciate you tuning in. You know what I'm saying? You guys make sure if you want to support the show, Cash App, Royce's Rant, or, you can go to the PayPal at paypal.me/Royce's Rant. But I know a lot of people have that Cash App. Hey, man, send your boy some coins so we can keep this show going. Cash App, $ Royce's Rant, ROYCESRANT. And you'll see the logo right there whenever you do it, man. Any donation is good. Make sure you guys send stars on Facebook. If you're on the Royce's Rant page, you'll see the stars right there on the bottom. You can send me stars for every, we get I think it's like a penny, you know what I'm saying? You can buy stars for 99 cents. You get your 50 stars. That'll give us 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all continue to support. All right. So as we're going back, let me recap everything that we talked about so I can kind of close out and, give, start my rant. Y'all know how I do. Black history banned in Tennessee. What? Say that again. Black history in Tennessee. has technically been banned. But see, they covered it up, you guys, with this thing called CRT, critical race theory, where in a nutshell, it says that it teaches, it's a body of legal scholarship and an academic movement of U.S. civil rights scholars and activists who seek to critically examine race in America. Now, if we were talking about this, like in present terms, is there race in America? Shout out to Bishop Tyson. Appreciate it. Is there race in America? Yes, there's race in America. Is there race in America like there was in the 40s and 50s and 60s? No. I'm going to tell you the difference I'm going to tell you the difference. There's a reason why it's called systemic racism. It's a system. So instead of saying you can't do this because you're black, we're going to do this because of your class. We're going to do this because you're a minority. We're going to do this because you are a lower income. So therefore, those people in the lower income happen to be majority black. There are definitely some white people and Latinos up in there, but majority black. So when you change it to systemic racism, you say, hey, if you are at this certain level, you can't get this, you can't get that. Or if you're in this certain neighborhood, we're going to redline this and set up certain commercial businesses on this side. Tullahoma. Did I say that? South Jackson Street, east side of the tracks. Hello. All right. Yeah, I said it. BJ Anderson, they don't even know what CRT. Yes, they don't even know what CRT is. And I'm going to keep it real. Y'all see this red and this blue that I got going on here? That makes purple. And I got the shirt on. That means I'm right there in the middle, man. I see the left side and I see the right side. But I'm going to have to keep it real. The right side is really tripping right now on how they, and it is on the right side a little bit. This is about the only time I'm going to go partisan on y'all asses. So hold on to it while you can. All right? Because I try to stay in the middle. But what I see over here to the right, this red over here, they are really pushing this CRT as it's something racist. And to me, I feel like that they're afraid that the truth is going to come out, like we're going to retaliate. So our governor and our state legislators, Janice Bolin. I'm going to make sure I say that again because I'm going to cut this and send it to her. Bill Lee decided to use CRT to slowly push Black history out of the way, meaning they're saying that if anything is taught in schools K through 12 that has anything to do with systemic racism or suggests systemic racism or suggests that one group of people are superior than another, you will be fined. There will be funds taken away. They're making it illegal to teach Black history, all in a nutshell. This is not me going far left. This is me common sense. Governor Bill Lee passes a bill to basically end Black history in schools here in Tennessee. Oh, but you can do the regular history though, right? All right, so let me go to how I feel about all of this altogether. And I want to appreciate everybody sharing. Let me drink on this Sprite, who doesn't sponsor the show but needs to. You know what I'm saying? I know that was cheesy, man. So look, you guys, these are my closing remarks on this because I told y'all I wasn't going to be too long. You know what I'm saying? Look, y'all, I think it's a bunch of BS that's going on right now. I think I can see right through that glass window that they have. Actually, the window is up. I'm sticking my head all through the window and I can see everything that's going on in the big house right now. And when I say the big house, I mean in the big house of Tennessee, down there in Nashville, the big house, that capital, where our governor and other state legislators have voted. And oh gosh, y'all should have seen the voting poll. It was ridiculous. Like, it was well over the majority voted to pass that bill. And I need you guys to go check that out and see who passed that bill, because these are the people that are trying to run next year for midterms. And I'm going to need y'all to bring this up when they try to run again. Sprite, you see how cool, crisp, and refreshing that is? Show this man some love with some money attached. Yeah, I got to get that. Hold on, that, Sprite. All right, Sprite to get you right. Obey your thirst. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to my closing remarks. BJ, you silly. When I first heard about this bill, y'all, I was upset just a little bit. I was upset. And after I got through talking to a couple of my constituents, you know, I began to think a little bit. And I said, what am I mad for? What am I upset for? You know, this is something that I've been trying to push here in Tullahoma. Not as big as I wanted to because I hadn't got a chance to really talk to some of our BOE people here. I don't even know if they're listening. I don't even know if they even care. But I'm going to keep it real. I was really upset. And somebody brought to my attention and said, you can't really act like that you're surprised. You know, you can't be surprised where it's like, this is Tennessee. We're so behind when it comes to progression. And I understand certain things. I understand conservative ways. Some things need to be in place. But when we're talking about obvious things, this is going to hurt our state. And you want to say teaching critical race theory, I call it Black history. You want to say it's going to cause a divide. What's going on right now? What's going on right now? See, what causes a divide is a lack of knowledge. The Bible says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. So when they say what you don't know won't kill them, that's kind of like a lie. My people will perish for a lack of knowledge. If you don't know your present's history, we are bound to repeat this. We're bound to have less and less understanding of why we continue to speak on Black issues and the psychological effect that America's history has placed upon us, even the descendants. No. Was I a slave? No. Were some of my ancestors? Yes. Were some of my ancestors indigenous to this land? Yes. I got a mixture of both. There's no way that I can imagine what they went through. I never been through that. So in that case, when people tell me that, you're right, I wasn't there. And you wasn't either. But yet, you know about your 4th of July. You know about your Revolutionary War and your Civil War. You know about all of your presidents. You know about all of your inventors. But can't name 5 Black inventors. This is the problem with Black history and what's not being told. All of the friends, not all of my white friends. We got some smart folks around here, but a lot of my white people that were not Black, a lot of people that are not Black, a nice majority of them with a handful of an exception, always relate Black history to slavery. They always bring it up. Slavery, Martin Luther King. Nobody talks about Malcolm X or Medgar Evers or Angela Davis or Fred Hampton. Nobody talks about George Washington Carver. Nobody talks about Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm naming all these people. That doesn't mean that they were all good people. You know, some of them were spies for the FBI. But it's good to know the struggle. It's good to know how this country was taken from other people, right? And you see, this is the thing right here. What if America told the truth? And nothing but the truth shall help them guide about how they took America. Show of hands. If you're listening now, listening later. If you knew the true history of America, does that make you want to retaliate and possibly take over the Capitol like they tried to last year? It didn't get shot or killed? Are we going to be the ones to retaliate? No. That's not what's going to happen. See, it's too late to kind of turn back now. It's too late to tell everybody needs to go home back to where they came from. When they used to tell Black people to go back to Africa, we used to tell white folks to go back to where you came from Europe. Because this wasn't anybody's land in the first place except indigenous people. But see, we're here now, right? We're here now. Nobody's going anywhere. So the best thing to do is to come clean, show yourself, show your face, come clean. It's the right thing to do. BJ says, think about this. You open a history book and see all these great people doing these great things, and you notice something. None of them look like you. What does that do to a child? I'll tell you what that does to a child psychologically. I said this last year. It's a good point you brought that up. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be an equal playing field when it comes to the heroes in American history. So guess what? See, good point, BJ. The fact that Black history that is going to be technically taken out, Black and white children will just see white faces and white heroes. And in a Black person's mind, white people are our saviors. instead of trusting in ourselves. Now, this ain't, I don't know, racist separatist stuff. This is having an equal playing field of heroes, right? Think about it like this. What if America never taught its history from a white person's point of view? What if it was just all black history, right? All black history, and white people just sat there and listened to everything, right? They would begin to think, right, that, well, maybe black people are better than us. Maybe black people are superior than us. They've done all this stuff. They've done all these inventions and all these things, right? Psychologically and subconsciously, they're going to feel like that they're less than, and all they have attached to their name is slavery and nothing else. So think about how black people feel subconsciously when they're not fed proper knowledge of how great they were too. We're just asking for an equal playing field. We can't change what's happened now. We're already here. We'll let God handle that toward the end. But while we're here, we need to accept that truth. But since they're not putting that in schools, since they're going to make it illegal to speak on systemic racism, my conclusion to this and my answer, and it may not be the answer for everybody, but if we weren't doing this already, we need to do it ourselves. We need to do it ourselves. If it's really that important to you, just to keep it real, because I'm not here to force anybody to learn anything about black history. If you want to learn it, learn it. I'm just here to tell you how important it is to learn it so we can all be on the same playing field. As parents, we need to teach our kids real American history. As parents, we really need to be more attentive and more aware of what's going on at the schools and what they're teaching our kids, period. Period. With a T. Period. Not just about history, about everything. Parents need to be involved in a child's education because we don't know what these teachers are telling us. We need to go to these PTA meetings. If you have a child, you need to ask questions. You need to look at their curriculum. We need to be involved in our kids' history and our kids' education. And so if they're going to do that here in Tennessee, and what I got to say to Governor Bill Lee and Janice Bolin and all the other state legislators that has something to do with passing these bills, I'm going to say shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. And as you get older, I hope you think about what you just did. Oh, we know what you did. What are you afraid of? And to the people out there, are we going to assemble? Are we going to assemble and push this? Are we going to try to make a change and get this back in the schools? Or can we trust ourselves to teach our children and start holding seminars once a month in our local rec centers and hold these lessons? At the end of the day, it's really up to the parents what they teach their child. We have to hold ourselves responsible. As black people, we have to hold ourselves responsible too. We have to seek knowledge also. If they won't give it to us, we're going to have to take it. We're going to have to learn it ourselves. We have to. And in my opinion, I feel like that this bill kind of did some good in a way. Because they weren't teaching us real black history in the first place. What are we going to do? BJ said this could backfire on them also, though. As long as people like you exist, or like us exist, if kids start looking past what they see in the school books, I know ain't nobody controlling us or censoring us. These kids going to get a big dose of truth from the private sector. There you go. There you go. Right there. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. How serious is this to you, parents with kids? How serious is this to you that they passed this bill? If this is really serious with you, I want everybody to come together. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to teach our kids ourselves? Or are we going to stand strong as Tennesseans and tell them, this is messed up and you need to do something about it? This is a time to start taking away votes. You see how they did this. They did this right before the midterms. So this is everybody's homework and what I want y'all to do before I close. I want everybody first to share this, and I would like everybody to go online. And I need you guys to Google this bill that has been passed. And I need you to look at every person that voted yes to this bill. Look at their terms, how long they've been in office. There's the website right there. Y'all check that out. It'll show you the poll on who voted what. You guys see who voted yes to this bill. These are the same people that are going to be running next year, depending on how their time works out. Midterms is next year. These are some of the same people. Keep an eye on them and hold them accountable. And the next time they talk about something, I know I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to push this to the max. You feel what I'm saying? And that's all I'm going to say, you guys. Listen, right now, Black history has been banned from Tennessee schools, K through 12. They cover it up, call it critical race theory. The sad thing, we can read between the lines because we're smart, right? I see both sides of the fence. And one side ain't acting right. You got to do what's right for the people. That's a shame. Once again, the Bible says my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Critical race theory is a body of legal scholarship and academic movement of U.S. civil rights scholars and activists who seek to critically examine race in America. If that ain't Black history, I don't know what else to tell you. And you guys are trying to ban that because you're scared that people are going to retaliate. And that's a damn shame. All right, state legislators, we are on your ass. Gloria Miller said Maya Angelou supported Black genocide in 2010 with one speech. Maya Angelou praised Margaret Sanger's Planned Parenthood and raised $300,000 for their chapter in San Antonio. Yep. Those are that's the kind of history that we need to know, Black or white. You feel what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Because there was good, bad, and ugly in everybody, man. Listen, you guys, midterms is next year. Look at those people who voted for this bill because they're going to be running next year. All right. We appreciate everything. Thank you, Gloria Miller from YouTube. Shout out to you. Please continue to share. Thank you guys for watching. You know what I'm saying? I know the next 2 weeks, man, we actually have another guest. He's a business entrepreneur. You know, he's doing some big things. We're going to have him on soon. But you guys, please continue to share. Please continue to donate to our Cash App at $ Royce's Rant, ROYCESRANT. Or if you are on PayPal, it is paypal.me/Royce's Rant. Y'all make sure y'all follow all the platforms on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, IG, all Royce's Rant. You know what I'm saying? We really appreciate everything you've done. Send us stars here on Facebook. Please support, please support. And I'm going to close out by saying a little something like this. I'm your boy, Royce the Voice, Orange Click, Orange Leaders. Shout out to K-Team. Speak your thoughts or lose your mind. And we up out of here. 1.